The Indian military may soon have its most potent weapon to counter any Chinese misadventure at the LAC. Days after declaring India a superpower and a natural ally, Russian President Putin has now offered the Indian military Russia's most powerful strategic bomber, the Tu-160M. Now, this could be a nightmare for the Chinese PLA, with tensions and mistrust still running high at the LAC border. So Russia has renewed its offer to India of the nuclear-capable Tupolev Tu-160M bomber, referred to as the White Swan by Russia and Blackjack by NATO. With a range of over 12,000 kilometers in one go, the White Swan is actually a beast. It can cruise at an altitude of over 40,000 feet at 960 kilometers per hour, but actually has top speed over 2,220 kilometers per hour on nearly Mach 2. Now, this bomber, which NATO fears can carry nuclear weapons with a payload of 45,000 kilograms. It needs a crew of just 4, which includes the pilot and co-pilot, along with bombardier and a defensive systems operating officer. The big ticket offer will not only boost India-Russia defense partnership in advanced military tech, but also improve India's air power and deep penetration strike capabilities, not just across the LAC but the entire Indo-Pacific region. Remember, the proposal comes after the earlier offer of the Tu-22M3 to the Indian Navy nearly 2 decades ago. The deal, however, fell through because the cost of leasing and upgrading the aircraft was just too high back then. However, the lack of a strategic bomber in the Indian military arsenal is a glaring hole. Acquiring the Tu-160M would represent a strategic shift for the Indian Air Force, which had previously concentrated on versatile, multi-role fighters, including the Mirage 2000 and now the Rafale, to maintain a nuclear deterrence. Ballistic missiles like the Agni series, as well as nuclear submarines or SSBNs like INS Arighat and INS Arihant, complete India's military nuclear triad. The ultimate decision lies with the Indian Air Force to look at several considerations like thorough evaluation of how well the Tu-160M fits into its operational goals and strategy. As India evaluates whether the Tu-160M's capabilities justify the investment needed, it will also look at key factors like costs, logistics, maintenance, and the bomber's potential to affect the current force structure. Each aircraft costs around 15 billion rubles, or about $163 million, and would additionally require significant investment in terms of infrastructure, specialized training for pilots and crew, as well as modification to current air bases. Moreover, the turbojet engines consume a substantial amount of fuel, estimated at 3,000 to 4,000 gallons, which could reach $9,000 to $12,000 per hour of operations. If the India-Russia defense deal works out, India will become only the 4th country in the world to have strategic bombers fleet, after the USA, Russia, and China. The upgraded version of the original Russian Tu-160, it has the distinction of being the heaviest combat aircraft in the world, as well as the fastest strategic bomber in the world, and is expected to be 60% more effective than its predecessor. It was designed by the Tupolev Design Bureau of the Soviet Union back in the 1970s, but has been continuously developed and deployed by Russian aerospace forces. The Tu-160M can carry an impressive 12 cruise missiles or 12 short-range nuclear missiles. So is the bomber the last piece of India's defense puzzle? The Chinese PLA has a fleet of 231 H-6 strategic bombers, as well as 36 H-6K strategic bombers, making it the biggest air force in the world in terms of strategic bomber fleet. Indian Air Force Group Captain A.K. Sachdev had elaborated on the need for similar capabilities back in 2021, saying, quote, "Given the fact that Chinese bombers can reach Indian cities, airports, and military installations, the desirability of having strategic bombers capable of holding a similar threat for at least a proportion of Chinese target systems is undeniable," unquote. While the entire Pakistan is already within reach of Indian fighter jets, the IAF does realize that a significant part of China is currently out of range of Indian fighter fleet. India has its own arsenal of nuclear-capable ballistic as well as cruise missiles, including the Agni, Prithvi and BrahMos. However, strategic bombers can be key in neutralizing enemy defense systems as well as command centers, enabling Indian military to take the war deeper into enemy territory. So should India buy this Russian strategic bomber? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.